very special edition of Danny Bonaduce Life Coach. We've got Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones, and you're answering all your questions. Here's the deal. The deal. Life Coach is brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Give him a call. Goldberg Jones, Divorce Your Man, 1-800-DIVORCE. Morning, Rick.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm terrific. Yourself?
I'm terrific. Thank you very much. You really look great today. Why all dressed up?
Oh, I'm about ready to catch a flight down to Las Vegas to follow Seattle University's basketball team.
Nice.
One of my passions.
So you're gonna follow them as long as they're doing well. So what are you gonna do by Friday?
As long as I can. Well, I'm in Vegas, right? It shouldn't be a problem.
I just stole that from him. I have no idea what I'm even talking about.
It's win or go home.
There you go. So it's winner. It's put up or shut up, huh?
Absolutely.
Now are you
done.
gonna be devastated if they don't put up and have to shut up?
No, it's been a great season already.
Cool. Well, you look great, and you look ready for the role of I am Mr. Vegas Man.
Absolutely. It looks like he is ready to get started on Life Coach. So if you've got a problem and you need the help of Danny Bonaduce or Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men, call 800-252-1025.
Hey, Rick, how you doing? Danny, how you doing?
We're all good, man. What's the question? What's the problem?
Well, I went through a divorce 2 years ago, and I have 3 years of alimony to pay. I've got 1 year left, and I owe my ex-wife $25,000. She's a financial train wreck, and I contacted her knowing that she would probably accept a discounted lump sum payoff. But I've negotiated an $18,000 payoff. I want to know what I need to do to protect myself. Number one, can I do this? Number two, can I protect myself? What do I need to do to make sure that she can't come back after me once it's paid off?
Nice. What's up, Rick?
Oh, I like easy answers.
Oh, is this an easy answer?
It's a
I
layup.
didn't think so.
Absolutely. What you need is what's called a satisfaction of judgment, which is a legal document that acknowledges that there was this $25,000 debt and that it's been satisfied. Even if it's been satisfied by an $18,000 payment, it's certainly within her rights to accept the deal. There's every reason she wants to.
Yeah.
Because she wants the money now, not later anyway. So
okay.
Good to go.
Where do you get that? What's the name of the paper he needs?
Satisfaction of judgment.
Where do you get that? Is it something they sell at the stationery store? Or do
I don't know. As an attorney, we create these documents, and that's simple enough on our end. I'm sure that it's locatable through either a document store or maybe online.
Right. Oh, yeah. Everything's available online.
That's
I've
right.
got a couple of weird things. One more time, just so I know he's got it. What's the name of that document he needs?
Satisfaction of judgment.
Thank you, Rick Jones, because here's what's going to come down to on that. That's going to be what you need, and it's somewhere online, and you're just going to have to hit print. And while it's printing out, you need to remember to thank Rick Jones. That's awesome. All right.
If you've got a question for Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones, if a divorce or custody, anything like that, this would be the great day to call because he is in studio answering your calls at 800-252-1025. And, of course, if you have a question for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, you can call today as well. John in Puyallup, you're up next.
Hey, John.
Hey, what can I expect to happen at a settlement hearing?
So you've got a hearing coming up, and you're already in the middle of a divorce?
Yes.
Okay. And now, is it actually a hearing, or is it called a settlement conference?
Settlement conference.
Okay.
Wow.
A settlement conference is a longer name for a mediation. So what that really means is both sides of the case presumably have gotten their ducks in a row because you must be getting closer to a trial date. So everybody's going to show up in this room or two rooms, and a mediator goes back and forth. And ultimately, the goal is to walk out of there with your case resolved on terms that you can live with. You're probably not going to feel great about it, but so neither is she.
Right.
But terms that you can both live with, sign off on, be done, and not have to go through the dog and pony show of trial. That's the goal of a settlement conference.
So, John, this is just my guess on this, that if this is, and I'm always assuming that Rick Jones is right, if you're going to the settlement conference, you probably know exactly what's going to happen. Don't you? You're pretty close to what's already going to happen to you. Isn't there an expectation of the way this is going to shake out?
Yeah, I was trying to get it done before the hearing date, though, or conference date.
All right, so what's going to happen is exactly what he thinks is going to happen. People are going to mediate a settlement right there.
That's right. That's the goal. Now, you can still try and get things done behind the scenes. Are you able to communicate with your soon-to-be ex?
Only through the attorney.
Okay, well,
that's probably smart.
And it doesn't sound like you've got much chance of making it happen then, because ultimately the attorneys are both gearing up to make sure that again, they're as persuasive as possible at this mediation.
Right. Well, you've gotten along this far. It's probably at least acceptable to you, or you wouldn't be there already. So the expert on this one, John, is you. Thank you very much for the call, John. And thank you, by the way, there, Rick Jones.
This is Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, with special guest Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones, 1-800-DIVORCE. The next caller is Jill in Everett.
Oh, wow. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
What do you got?
Hi. I have a quick question.
Shoot, Rick Jones standing by.
Great. Got a divorce in 2008. To keep it simple, between us we have a now 15-year-old daughter that is disabled, and she cannot be left alone. I work so I have custody of my daughter. He lives in a different city. He is imputing my wages, saying that as far as child payments, he imputes my wages through the court. It got okayed, saying that I could work more hours. Well,
Wow, I hate this guy.
Yeah, and I only work. Yeah, I do. I only work the hours that my daughter goes to school because I want to be with my daughter. I don't want to put her in daycare. Should I pursue an attorney, and is it worth the money to? Because I don't think it's fair he's imputing my wages.
Sure. Well, in terms of should you pursue an attorney, the first thing you should do is consult with an attorney,
right,
like us.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you really need somebody to be able to ask some of the tougher questions as well, because when you're using that phrase that he is imputing you money or income, that's not true. The court's doing it. So they must have either found that his argument that income should be imputed was a valid argument, or maybe you didn't participate in the process. And the answer to either of those questions really depends on what the next step is on your side of the equation.
Like, is there any chance that you can go back after this gentleman? Because, and I don't know what your situation is, but here's what I hear. I have a daughter who's handicapped. Is there does he pay extra money for your daughter's welfare to pay for the nurse that's got to be with her?
He does not pay extra money. No, I had an attorney when we did this in 2008 that did not go after. He didn't fight. He said, let's just. To me, he didn't really fight.
And are you blaming your lawyer for that, or you for that? Because I said the same thing to my attorney. I said, let's not fight. Let's get this done. And I've spent the last 8 years regretting that decision that I didn't say, hey, put up a good fight on this.
I did not. Yes, it's partly my fault. I didn't push it to say, no, this isn't fair. Let's fight for it. No.
Well, can she go back and go after that?
Yeah, Jill, I'm hearing a couple things. First of all, Danny is spot on, as always, regarding the ability to seek, his share of child support expenses for what's called extraordinary expenses. Right. And those are expenses that not all children have. So certainly issues directly related to the disability are just simply prime candidates for him to be sharing in those expenses. Now, on top of that, if the disability is likely to extend beyond 18 or finishes high school, which is when a normal support order changes, there may be the ability to extend that duration for a period of time as well, depending, again, on the level of disability. But what it really tells me is everything we've heard from you today says get in and talk to somebody so that you can spend the time it takes to educate them as to your circumstances, and they can tell you what they can do for you.
Thanks, and good luck. I appreciate the phone call and Rick's answer, Jill.
Lisa in Tacoma, you're up next round with Danny Bonaducci, life coach, and Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
My question is that my new husband, when he went through his divorce, he settled out for half of his military retirement and to pay off her car or whatever, which is fine. We're doing that, and that's all awesome. Is there any chance, since Washington State, I think it believes, is that it's 3 years for spousal support, is there a chance that after that 3 years of him going back to court and saying, I want my half of my military retirement back? I supported you my whole life during our whole marriage of 23 years, and, can I go back and change that?
No.
Well, that was fast. No, I'm sorry for you, but I will give you some advice that you'll appreciate down the road. Within the next year or two, you should stop referring to your husband as your new husband. They hate that. When I refer to Amy as my new wife, she totally hates it. She's my only wife. That's your only husband.
Or her next husband.
Yeah. See, that makes everybody here possibly your next husband. But yeah, I don't see it. And Rick Jones, he's the real deal lawyer. He doesn't see how you can go back and get more, especially on a pension.
Oh. Okay, Christina in Redmond, you are up next.
Hey,
Hello.
Christina. Hi.
Hey, I have a question for Rick. My daughter is 5. We have no legal paperwork in place between me and her father, and I'm wondering, is it possible for me to put paperwork in place that basically states I am the one that takes care of her, I am the one that makes decisions for her, without going to an attorney? I mean, I can't afford a $5,000 for an attorney to file paperwork saying I am the one that says it's okay for, like, my mom to take her out of the country and things like that. And her father is not in her life. He's not even in the state of Washington. And I just would like to be able to put some kind of paperwork in place that says I am the one that takes care of her and I'm the one that makes decisions for her. I don't know what kind of paperwork that is, and I don't know if I can do it by myself.
You know, there's a little bit of a challenge here because the obvious next step for you is going to set in motion something that you, from the sounds of it, you may not want to put in place. Because the next step is to create what's called a parenting plan, which is just like divorced parents have, that define the custodial situations, who the primary parent is, which is what you're expecting to do. But there's also an expectation that it creates a level of visitation, which doesn't sound like it's part of the plan.
No.
But more so than that, if you're putting a parenting plan together, the first thing the court's going to do is they're going to say, where's the child support order? And they are not going to let a parenting plan go through without there being an acknowledgement of another responsible party. So if your deal with this guy is you stay out of her life and I'll stay out of your pocket, then it's really going to throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into it.
Yeah, because I don't know that you're ever going to have a good night's sleep again, wondering if he's changed his mind. Because the document is fine. You can make one up. You can go get somewhere and get it. But then you have to wonder, hey, is he ever going to come back in my life when I don't want him? And the answer is probably yes. So as egregious as this might sound to you when we're talking about your kid, I say get a lawyer right now. They're worth them. I made a joke, I think it was this morning or yesterday. Why is divorce so expensive? Because it's worth it. This is one of the things you really want to cover your bases. It's your kid. All righty. And thank you to Rick Jones. And thank you to, I believe, Christina.
Yep, we've got time for one more caller on Danny Bonaducci, life coach. Here is Jim in Seattle. You're on with Danny and Rick Jones from Goldberg Jones, 1-800-DIVORCE.
Hey, man.
Morning, Jim.
Morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Hey, my wife has said that she wants a divorce. We've been married 20 years. Never a hint of a problem until last spring. Came up with some problems, behavior problems with the kids. Suddenly it's bad. I want to hold on to the marriage. But I don't want to wait so long that suddenly I get steamrolled getting caught by a different lawyer or something. I don't know what to do here.
Well, I'm glad you asked. We have so many people that are contacting us 2-3 months after where you're at right now, and we have to try and put things back in place, and that's never an easy task.
No, I don't know that you would need a backup on this. That's exactly what I did. I was getting divorced, and I thought, well, I should hire a lawyer. Bad call. Get a lawyer right away, kids.
Head in the sand does not work.
Yep, it didn't.
So what you need to do, depending on where you're at in the process, is consult with somebody. Go in. It doesn't mean you've hired. It doesn't mean you've lawyered up yet. But get your questions answered so you're in a position either to have meaningful conversation with her without shooting yourself in the foot. Basically, you just want somebody that has your back, which is exactly what you're asking for.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you very much, and thank you there, Jim. That's all the time we have for Life Coach today. I appreciate all your phone calls. That was Life Coach with the Rick Jones edition. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Coming up next, my favorite new game. I wait for this. Coming up, Who Said It?
This is the Danny Bonaducci and Sarah Morning Show on 102.5 KZOK, the classic rock station.